The young traveler arrives at the Airbnb, car keys in hand, expecting a peaceful weekend of solitude and quiet reflection. The cabin is nestled deep in the woods, a remote and charming escape, almost too perfect to be true. The air is crisp, the silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant call of a bird. They unload their bags, feeling the stress of the city melt away, ready to embrace the tranquility of this isolated haven. The wooden walls seem to hold a century of secrets, and the stillness of the surrounding forest feels both comforting and absolute. A sense of calm washes over them as they step inside, taking in the rustic decor and the promise of a restful retreat. At first, the signs are so subtle they are easily dismissed as tricks of an overactive imagination. A door that was left closed is now found slightly ajar, casting a thin sliver of shadow across the floorboards. A book placed carefully on the bedside table is now sitting on the arm of the sofa, its pages ruffled. At night, faint noises echo from the surrounding darkness. A twig snapping, a floorboard creaking in the empty hallway. The traveler shrugs it off, blaming the unfamiliar sounds of an old house settling, the disorienting effects of being alone in a new place. They try to convince themselves it has nothing more than the wind or the natural groans of the cabin. But a persistent feeling of unease begins to take root, a small, nagging doubt that whispers that they are not entirely alone. Facing the growing fear and profound isolation of the remote location, they attempt to rationalize their anxieties. The moved items? They must have done it themselves and forgotten, a simple lapse in memory. The faint noises at night? Just the sounds of the forest, amplified by the deep silence. But the feeling of being watched intensifies. It's a prickling sensation on the back of their neck, a sudden chill that has nothing to do with the evening air. Shadows in their peripheral vision seem to dance and retreat just as they turn to look. Over several nights, the subtle hints become undeniable. It becomes terrifyingly clear that someone is out there, always just out of sight. A silent observer hiding in the dense, dark woods that encircle the property. The sense of peace has evaporated, replaced by a constant, gnawing dread. The traveler begins to investigate, driven by a mix of terror and a desperate need for answers. They meticulously check the locks, peering through the windows into the inky blackness, searching for any sign of a lurking presence. Their heart pounds with every rustle of leaves, every distant howl of the wind. The investigation leads them to scrutinize every corner of the cabin, their hands trembling as they inspect the very walls that were meant to be their shelter. It is then, behind a dusty, forgotten painting in the bedroom, that they find the first one. A tiny, almost invisible lens stares back at them. Panic gives way to a sickening realization. More cameras are uncovered, one hidden within a decorative clock on the mantelpiece, another tucked discreetly into a power outlet near the bed. Every private moment, every sigh of relief, every fearful glance had been meticulously recorded. The host, whose friendly emails had seemed so welcoming, had been spying on their every move. By confronting the horrifying situation and gathering the courage to contact the authorities, the traveler meticulously documents the evidence, their hands shaking as they photograph each hidden device. Under the cloak of pre-dawn darkness, they make their escape, the fear of being caught a palpable weight in the air. The police arrive and the host is eventually apprehended, their facade of hospitality shattered to reveal a disturbing and predatory secret. The traveler escapes the cabin physically unharmed, but the experience leaves a permanent mark, a chilling reminder of trust, vulnerability, and the insidious danger that can lurk behind the most familiar and seemingly safe spaces.